Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the LSM PDD Orientation. My name is Felipe Moreira. I am your International Student Coordinator, and I must say that this is the happiest moment for me in the entire semester because I get to have a closer connection with all of you at once. This is going to be my 11th PDD orientation in a row. In January 2018, I attended the LSM PDD orientation on campus at Lingera. For the very first time as a PDD student, I was a student in the PDD BA program. And ever since, I've been attending every LSM PDD orientation as a panelist, as an MC, and for the last, 5 or 6 orientations as the International Student Coordinator for the program. So thank you all for joining. It is an honor and a privilege to have you all here. Now you can finally put a face to my name. We've been exchanging emails for quite a while now. I've been addressing your inquiries, trying to answer all your questions. Hopefully that's what we're going to be doing here today, providing you with a lot of information so you can learn more about the programs, learn more about Lingera, learn more about what you can expect and what is expected from you. So hopefully this will be a very informative session. I know that some of you have already attended the International Student Orientation and the New Student Orientation. Others haven't attended the International Student Orientation yet, but will attend the second session later today. So for those of you who haven't attended the International Student Orientation, the ISO, I strongly recommend that you attend that event as well. The information that will be provided there is quite different from this orientation. So the more information you have, the more knowledge, the more power you have over your decisions. Okay, so before we get started, and I start introducing my dear friends who will be co-hosting this event with me, I want to start with a land acknowledgement. Lingera has been given the name Snowaeth Lalem, which means house of teachings, in the Hunkaneman language of the Musqueam people. The name Snowaeth Lalem is synonymous with Lingera College, and both names, Lingera and Snowaeth Lalem, are used as part of our college's identity. The Musqueam peoples have a long history of welcoming newcomers to this land, and they would like to continue this tradition by extending a warm welcome to all international students. Musqueam is one of the many First Nations bands here in Canada. They're a part of the Coast Salish Indigenous group, and their ancestors have lived in the Fraser River estuary for thousands of years. Lingera College is located on Musqueam's traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory on the former site of an ancient Musqueam village. So before every event that we have at Lingera, we always do this land acknowledgement, because being aware of this information honors and respects the First Nations of Canada and their ancestors. Knowing whose land you are being educated on, and perhaps also living and working on, it is an important step in developing positive relationships with the Indigenous peoples. So I'm going to start by giving some housekeeping rules. I see that some people have already started sending us some questions on the Q&A function and the chat function of Zoom. So I'm going to kindly ask you to use another platform for your questions. If you are attending this event from your laptop or your desktop, if you have a second device in hand, I kindly ask you, you can either scan this QR code or you can go to the browser and type in slido.com. We're going to be using Slido as a platform for questions and all the questions that you might have. feel free to send them through slido.com. The good thing about this platform is that the most popular questions will be on top, and we'll be able to address the most popular questions at the end of the event. So don't worry, any questions that might come up, feel free to send through through Slido, and we will try to address them at the very end. Maybe any doubts that you might have or questions that you might have right now might be answered in one of our sessions, or might be answered from some of our panelists. You will see that in between our sessions, we'll ask questions to the panelists. All of our panelists are current students in the PDD programs, so they will be able to share their experiences with you. When you go to slido.com, it will ask for a code. The code is LSM PDD, as you can see, okay? And this will not be addressing any questions in the Q&A or the chat function. And I kindly ask you to ask questions that are relevant to the event, relevant to the content that we are displaying here today. So if you have any specific individual questions regarding your specific situation, feel free to send me an email and I'll address it afterwards, okay? All right, so just to make sure that Slido is working perfectly and everyone has access to Slido. So we see that people have already started using so let me share it again. People have already started using Slido. So what city are you in right now? So I see a lot of people typed in Vancouver. We see here Punjab, Budapest, Bangkok, Davis, California, USA, Ambala, India, Hong Kong, Bogota, Coquitlam, Rio de Janeiro, Surrey, Delhi, Tehran. I see a city here. How can I get my class schedule? I don't think that's a city. Richmond. I'm also in Richmond, by the way. Sao Paulo. That's awesome. Okay, so we can see that you are all already familiar with Slido. A lot of you have already logged in. Again, questions will be addressed through Slido, but not in this function, in the Q&A function. On Slido, there is a question and answer function, so you can click there and put in your questions there. Okay, without further ado, I'm gonna pass it on to our MC for the day. I will not be hosting this event. Our host is actually one of our students. Her name is Doa, and Doa will take it from here. Doa, take it away.
Thank you, Felipe. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. My name is Doa Thabit. I'm also an international student. I'm from Yemen, and I'm in my third term in the PDD BA program. And I'm very excited to be here on this very important day for you. I remember how much impact orientation had on my journey here and my time in the program. Like, it really shaped the opportunities and experiences I got, and it was a great introduction to everything the PDD program has to offer. And we have a lot planned for you, so it's not a bad idea to take notes. That's what I did the first time, to keep up and remember everything that we cover. And as Felipe said, if you have any questions, put them on Slido. We'll get to them in the Q&A section. And please keep them related to the things that we cover through the orientation, so that we're able to answer you to the best of our ability. And so for our agenda today, we will have our department welcome by our division chair, Marianne. And then we'll have the very important program overview by our LSM program advisors, Susan and Kim. We have club presentations by the amazing clubs we have at Langara. They're all student-run clubs. We have mental health resources at Langara by Sophia. That's also a very important thing for us to know. We have the Meet Your International Student Coordinator session with Felipe, and we have a part about student rights and responsibilities, and closing remarks and Q&A is the final session. And last but not least, you'll hear from students who are just like you at the beginning of their program. There are student panelists, and they'll be sharing their experiences with you all. So let's start by meeting them, and we will begin with our panelist host, Karimi.
Hello, everyone. So nice to be here again. This is my third PDD orientation. The first one I was a student as well. So last term I was a panelist and now I'm panelist host. It's a pleasure. I am in PDD Business Administration, my third term. I'm from Brazil. And if I can describe my first semester in Langara, it would be challenging, I think. So let's start with the presentation with the panelists. So Antonio.
Hello, everyone. My name is Antonio. I am from Brazil, and I am taking the PDD in Business Administration. I started last year in September, and now I'm in my third term. And the word that I'm going to choose to describe my first semester is amazing.
Okay, Camila.
Hello, everyone. My name is Camila. I am from PDD Market Management. I started the program this year in January on the spring semester, and I'm from Brazil. If I could describe the first semester in one word, would be impressive.
Phoebe.
Hi everyone, my name is Phoebe. I'm from the Philippines and I'm currently on my third semester in PDD Business Administration. And if I could describe my first term in one word, it would be eye-opening.
Dean.
Thank you so much. Hi guys, my name is Vinelin Costa. I started at Langara in January 2020 in the Marketing Management Diploma program. And if I could describe my first term in one word, I would say it's all about exploring. Thank you.
And the last not the least, Alejandro.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alejandro. I am from Ecuador, South America. I am currently studying the PDD in marketing management, and I'm coursing right now my third term or starting it. If I could describe my semester in one word, I will say challenging and optimism.
Thank you, everyone. I don't think we have Suzanne, right? She's not. Okay.
Yeah, she's not get yet.
Okay, thank you. And now I will hand it over to our division chair, Marianne, for the department welcome.
Thanks very much, Doa. Good morning from Vancouver Pacific Daylight Time. And I'm sure for many of you, it's not morning. It's at various points throughout your own day. I want to give you a big Canadian welcome to Langara College. And I am so excited that you are here and that you chose Langara College to begin and ideally complete your post-degree diploma program. I know for many of you, it will be overwhelming. Those of you who are going through very difficult times with the pandemic, I want to acknowledge that it is not an easy time. And for those of you in India and Brazil, where the cases, especially in India, have skyrocketed, our hearts go out to you. We are thinking of you and the difficult times that you and your loved ones, friends and family are going through. And we hope that India makes it through and gets all the support that it needs, as well as Brazil, that we're another place where a lot of suffering is happening. And so we know and understand that while you are coming into a new academic environment, your minds are also distracted by the personal things that are happening in your home, in your country, and we acknowledge that. I do want to say as well that it will be for those of you who are going to be online throughout your program for this summer semester. It will be overwhelming and difficult, and we really wish that you could be here with us on land. Of course, we're still remote for summer, regardless of where everyone is. But being in Vancouver would help give you a bit more of a settled feeling, and we're hoping that you will be able to travel here for September or even for January. We really don't know what to expect with the pandemic and how things may change with respect to the borders opening and students being allowed to come into Canada to pursue studies or to live and pursue studies remotely. It's very unpredictable, as we all know. But please know that there are lots of supports for you online, and I will be talking about some of those supports a bit later on. But I just want to say a huge welcome. Thank you so much, and I look forward to being able to see you in person down the road and hopefully the not too distant future. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne. And now we have the very important section of the program overview by LSM's program advisors, Susan and Kim.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kim Harbridge. I am one of your program advisors. This is normally a two-person show, but I am going to be doing it as a one-woman show today, so please bear with me. So when might you come to program advising? You've got Felipe, who's your ISC, but you've also got me and my co-advisor, Susan Joe, who are your two program advisors. So Felipe is here to help you with your whole journey as an international student. Susan and I are here to help you with your journey through the program structure. One thing that I want to draw your attention to today is our program structures, and specifically the Term 1 courses for your 3 different PDD programs. Not sure if I can screen share, but I'm going to try to, so just give me 1 minute. Aha, here we go. All right, so you should have all received today or yesterday a link to the PDD handbook. Now, this is a very, very important document, and I'm going to want you guys to be referring to it frequently. It's okay if you don't have it up today. There's no need to run to your inbox and dig through looking for it. But what I want to do is I want to show you some pages from it that you're going to want to refer to the most often. So here we go. You guys should now be looking at PDD Business Administration Program Structure. When you guys have got time, you can flip through the PDD handbook that Felipe has sent you and find a page that looks like this. We're just going to talk about business administration as an example today, but this page is going to be the page that you look at the most frequently throughout your time at the School of Management. So I want you guys to take a minute sometime today and find the program structure for your program. Business administration, marketing management, or accounting. And I want you to look at these lovely Term 1 courses. You're going to make sure that those are the 3 courses that you're registered in, the ones that are for your program. If you're in business administration, it's going to be BISM 4805, FMGT 4816, and BISM 4800. Only those courses, no more and no less. That's a really, really important thing to keep in mind. I know figuring out your registration for the first term is a lot, but we want to make sure that you stay on track throughout the whole program. And that starts with taking the 3 correct courses in your very first term of study. So if you are in, so I'm going to stop sharing now and just tell you a couple of other things that you might need to know or might find useful that are also located in your program handbook. Okay, everything I talk about today, if I'm going too fast, if you're trying to do something else at the same time, if you've got friends messaging you about the orientation, it's okay if you miss it. You can find everything in the PDD handbook. So when you've got following the program structure, it's very important that every term you achieve a minimum C grade in your courses, unless otherwise stated. If we have any PDD accounting students in here, you're going to notice that when you take your statistics course a little later in the program, you need a C+ grade, but that's the only one that's different. For the most part, to succeed in the class, we need to get 60% C grade. That's because the course is going to be a prerequisite in many cases for later courses, but it's also because that's the minimum grade required to use the course towards graduation requirements in the PDD program. So if we get a C- or lower, that means we need to plan to retake the course. You look at that program structure, you see a long list of classes, a long list of prerequisites. It can be pretty overwhelming to figure out where you would even retake a course if you needed to. That's one situation when you're going to come to me and Susan. We know these programs very well. We can help you talk about when would be the best time to retake something if you have to. And we can also refer you to different services on campus that might help you succeed in your second attempt. You don't have to wait for a second attempt to come ask us about those services. And Felipe is also very able to talk to you about things like library resources, counseling, or even just student engagement opportunities. But that's one way we can help you with your program planning throughout your studies here. So we talked about that minimum C grade for graduation requirements. What are the other requirements? Well, you also need to complete all the courses. Hopefully that goes without saying. Don't skip any, don't take other courses instead. Follow the program structure. And you also need to have a program GPA of 2.33 at the end of the program. So that is slightly higher than a C average. That's a C+ average. So while it's technically possible to complete everything with a C grade, you can't actually graduate if every single class, all you got was C. We do need to have some that are at a higher level to complete the program with the 2.33 GPA. You'll notice that I said program GPA. So there are a lot of types of GPA. You're going to see these phrases used in different emails from the college, different parts of the website, even on your own Langara transcript once you start taking courses. Program GPA is different than that overall cumulative GPA that you see on your Langara transcript. A program GPA is calculated by the graduation department or by you if you want to see what your PGPA would be. And it's only based on the most recent attempts of your program required courses. And that's it. If you took any extra courses out of interest or to be full-time, if you took courses more than once, only the most recent attempt of your PDD required classes is going to be included in your program GPA for graduation purposes. We do still want to make sure you know there's one other GPA that's important to pay attention to each term, and that is the term GPA. It'll be really easy to see. That one you don't need to do any math to calculate. It will show up right on your transcript. We want to make sure that that is always 1.5 or higher, which shouldn't be a problem for PDD students in most cases, because we are still aiming for those minimum C grades in every course. If you're worried you're going to go a little lower, please just let me or Susan know, and we're happy to talk to you about how to plan for that. So we've got graduation requirements, minimum C grade, complete all courses, 2.33 GPA. We can find those listed again in our PDD handbook or on the School of Management website. We know we have required courses we need to take every term and that we shouldn't be breaking the program structure, that we can find the list of courses in the PDD handbook and on the School of Management website to make sure we're registered correctly for term 1. And if you have any questions about how you're registered or need any last minute changes, please email program advising at business@langara.ca. That email is in the program handbook, yes it is, as well as all over the School of Management website. If you, dollars to donuts, if you ask somebody in the School of Management, who should I email about this? They'll just tell you the business@langara.ca email address, even if they don't know that me and Susan are the ones who are answering it. So it's very easy to get a hold of us. We do answer as quickly as we can. So if you have a question about your term 1 registration, please let us know and we will get back to you within a couple of days. I think that is about it. I think I've covered everything in the one-woman show that needed to be covered today. Yes, oh, one other thing about email. So please also make sure that you are checking your Langara email frequently. If Susan and I need to get a hold of you, that's the only email address we have. Felipe has got all your personal addresses, the one you used when you applied. We've only got that Langara email. So if there's a seat available in a class for you, or we have a question for you about your course planning, that's how we're going to try to get a hold of you. So make sure you're checking it at least once a day. All right, so thank you everybody for your patience while I streamlined this show today, and I hope to be hearing from you soon.
Thank you, Kim. And I'd like to also state that the PDD handbook is your friend. You can print it out. I have mine printed out like right next to me, and I usually find myself looking for stuff in it. So make use of it. And yeah, wish you luck in that. And now let's get back to our student panelists and some questions. So Karini, take it over, please.
Yeah, sure. The first question is go to Camila. So Camila, if you were going to start your program again, what do you do differently?
I think I would learn. I was so afraid to the exams. I couldn't manage the time to do my first exam. I was so nervous and I couldn't finish. So my advice, and if I could do it again, I will keep on track on my time management to finish the exam on time. But don't worry, guys. In the second exam, I was able to do it and I finished the exam, so I did it well. But the first one's a little bit like we are nervous, like all the technology online situation. But yeah, we can do it. Just keep track on your time.
But it's a good tip for newcomers, for sure. The second question, it goes to Antonio. So Antonio, what's the biggest difference between your home country and Canada culturally and academically? What took you time to get used to?
Okay. Thank you for the question, Karini. And a great difference for me is that here I have the opportunity of being in touch with people from all over the world, from different cultures, with different religions, with different ways of thinking. And in my point of view, this is great because I see this as a huge opportunity for us to learn and to personally grow even more. And academically speaking, in my opinion, the courses here are more intense. However, they are very, very organized. For example, in the first day of classes, we received the course outline from each instructor with the schedule of the whole term. And this is great because we can get prepared and organized in advance.
Thank you, Antonio, for your answer. It's definitely one of the biggest differences. Thank you. Doa?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And okay, now we have the club presentations. I'm very excited about this. I think clubs play a big role and a big part in your whole journey in the PDD BA program. So we will begin by club presentations, and we'll start with PMC. I think we have Manisha who will be representing PMC. So Manisha, okay, here. Hi, Manisha. Hello. Hi. Please go ahead.
Karini will be sharing the screen.
Felipe, do you want me to share?
Yeah, you can share, Karini, if it's okay.
Okay, just one moment. I'm gonna get this.
Also, Manisha, as a co-host, she's able to share her screen as well.
Okay. I'm getting.
So while Karini is working on sharing her screen, if you have friends that are trying to join the meeting, we had an issue with the capacity. I've been increasing capacity manually, so you can tell them to try to join now. We should have more room. So if you hear of any of your friends that are trying to join the event and can't, they should try now. I apologize for the inconvenience.
Manisha, can you see my screen?
Yes, now. All right. So can you hear me properly, guys?
Yes.
All right. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon the time zone you are in. I am Manisha from PMC, and PMC is a voluntary club here in Langara. And what we do, we empower future leaders. So PMC is a mission to promote project management knowledge to Langara students by providing learning opportunities, fostering management and networking. And our vision is to support the Langara community by being a source of project management expertise, supporting internal projects and providing opportunities to network with project management leadership from different industries. So if you are interested in project management or you really want to understand how projects work, then this is the real club for you. Here you can see our present executive team. I hope you already know Karine and Doha here. They are doing a commendable job in this orientation. And even we have Camila, and there you can see me down there as marketing director. I think you have been having question in your mind that why should I join PMC? Am I really gonna gain anything out of it? Then this is the slide for you. Here you will learn how projects really, take place, how we implement seminars, how we do Skillshare events, how we handle our social media platforms. You'll be able to apply your expertise in meetings and events. And the succeed is the most important part. Here, you'll gain real experience, you'll learn new skills, you'll meet new people, and most importantly, you'll improve your confidence. If anything on the screen rings a bell to you, then this is the right club for you. And I would highly recommend you to scan this QR code to join our WhatsApp PMC Super Thread. And if anybody is having any query or question, you can always get in touch with any of our executive team via social media handle, either via Instagram or LinkedIn. And for those people, those who really want to join us but have some queries or questions, please stay tuned for our next update for PMC Clubhouse, where we will be answering all your questions one-on-one. And yeah, thank you so much. Do join PMC and have an exciting new semester. Thank you so much. Karina, you can take it over from here.
Thank you, Manisha. Thank you very much for the presentation.
So thank you, Manisha, and thank you, PMC. I think we have DMM next. So it's Manelan, right?
It's me. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah. So first of all, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. I'll just start the presentation. So Milan Kundera once said that business has only two functions, marketing and innovation. So here we are with the Digital Media Marketing Club, offering you a sneak peek into the world of both marketing and innovation. My name is Ashbir Singh and I'm the Vice President of DMM Club. Coming back to our club, all we need is wow. We need that wow factor in each and everything we do, be it the events we organize, the content we create, the work of our volunteers, or even the growth of our volunteers and the club itself. Now, some of you might be wondering, okay, but why exactly should I join the club? Which is a very valid question. Here's what's in it for you. Firstly, with the opportunities offered in this club, you'll be able to build and share your soft skills and professional skills that will help you grow both personally and professionally. Secondly, if you have any idea, you'll have a platform to implement it and see your idea grow into something amazing, or as we like to call it, into something wow. And thirdly, with the workshops and the events organized by the club, you'll get an insight into digital marketing in Canada. And most importantly, you'll have fun. I cannot stress enough on the importance of having fun, especially in this online scenario. But to have fun, you need to get involved. Now, these are the various ways you can get involved. I would just like to stress on the digital night talks. This is the signature event of our club. In this, we'll have speakers from the marketing agencies itself. We need sponsors, we need months of planning, and we need some amazing volunteers like you. Apart from that, we are looking for individuals who have some technical skills in these three fields: SEO, web development, and operations. If you are one of them, please feel free to send us your resume and cover letter on this email address to be a part of our executive team. Now, these are some of the events we have had in the past. Digital chit chat, debates on marketing related movies or topics, workshops with alumni and other such events. We have external volunteering opportunities as well. One of them is with Punjabi Market on the main street and the other one is with Base. Base is basically a platform where we host events in collaboration with over 60 universities in BC. Also, this is a picture from one of the digital night talks. This is obviously from the time when it was okay to shake hands and not wear masks. Anyway, so starting now, you can be a part of the club without giving it a second thought. Just scan the code and welcome to the club. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshveer. And yeah, clubs are amazing.
You have the link in the chat section as well for those who want to join.
Thank you. So up next we have the HR club. So
I think it's the accounting club now.
the accounting club, okay. And
hello.
Hey, Haley, go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Welcome to the Accounting Club. My name is Haley. I'm the student ambassador for the club. And what we do is we are an inclusive club and we focus on students who are interested in accounting. We are very curious about accounting, but we're more than just a group of students who love accounting and numbers. We enjoy having social events, setting up students for fellow success, and including everyone. Now, what does the Langara Accounting Club do? Besides hosting social events, we provide students with phenomenal networking opportunities. We act as the liaison between students and the future employers in the accounting world. By subscribing to our newsletter on the link I'll post, you can receive information on CPA info sessions, recruitment, volunteering, and networking opportunities. Summer 2021, we'll have CPA networking events, recruitment events, and we'll tell you all about the CPA info sessions. The account has sponsors, as you can see behind me, and who understand that our club is important for Langara accounting students. We are recognized throughout Vancouver and enjoy broadening our network for both students and employers. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email, and you can just scan the QR code and you can be a part of our club right away. Thank you.
thank you, Haley, and thank you to all the clubs. I think that was it. That was the last of the clubs, right, Felipe?
Yes. I don't think we have HR Pro Club and Management Emotion. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here, and just want to reinforce and apologize for the issue we had. We usually have a capacity of 250 attendees in the webinars. That's one of the reasons we do this in a webinar format, but for some reason it was limited to 100 attendees. So I've been manually making space so everyone can join. So maybe that might have been the issue why they couldn't join us. So I apologize for the inconvenience. But because we're talking about clubs, I just want to mention that back in my day when I was a student, I was a member of PMC, and I also partner a lot with the Langara Accounting Club and also the DMM Club. And for me, being a part of the club was the highlight of my experience as a student at Langara. And if there's one thing that I learned from my student experience on campus is that the concept of student success goes way beyond the classroom. It's about how you engage and get involved with the community, and clubs is a great way for you to not only develop yourself, develop your leadership skills, your communication skills, your language skills, but also to make your resume more relevant and more appealing for employers when you transition from school to the workplace. So make sure you sign up for those clubs. I'm sure that you will learn a lot from them. and you will increase your connections in your network, which will be fundamental for your success when you are transitioning to the workplace.
So let's go to the questions. The first question is for Vin. So Vin, how do you think being engaged and involved with Langara community has transformed you from the person you were when you began your program to who you are now?
Thank you so much, Kaini, for that question. So, ideally, half of that question has just been answered by Felipe himself in terms of how important it is to be engaged in the community, to be a successful candidate in the job market once you complete your graduation from Langara. So my journey has been a very fruitful one at Langara, and my last term at Langara College in the PDD Marketing Management program, as I mentioned. And when I joined, I was really scared and shy, and I thought that networking is not a big thing. I will get a job by giving interviews once I pass out. But I realized that's not the thing. As you progress through your courses, you realize you realize the importance of networking and, putting your hand into things and trying to get the best out of the course that you are enrolled in. So one big thing that has helped me is basically by putting my hand into clubs, putting my hand into the various volunteering opportunities. I got in sync with the Canadian job market or the Canadian work environment that is over here. Also, another important thing is wherein I could practice my skills and also get them ready in for the Canadian work environment, considering that we are practicing our skills in that particular work environment through clubs and interacting through people from the industry through clubs and to other opportunities through Volt that we have also. If I could just make a last point of where has all this taken me in my last term, it's basically me who has built references, who has built connections with people who can recommend me through jobs. And I think that is working really well in terms of the volunteering that I have done through my terms at Langara. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vin. That was so nice. The next question goes to Alejandro. So Alejandro, how do you think your volunteer experience will influence your transition to the workplace once you graduate?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, first of all, I really agree with Vinalan and Felipe, what they already said. And I really think that volunteering is a big deal here in Canada. So it is really good to volunteer. I really recommend it. So go ahead and join any of the clubs there. It will boost your skills. It will help you boost all your skills, your communication skills, your leadership skills, and it will also help you gaining a lot of network, like enriching your network, having more connections. As Vinalan say, maybe after this you will have more opportunities. You will know more people. Um, you will have more communication skills, so you will be better in the interviews, in the job interviews. So it is really good. And also here in Canada, I don't know in the rest of our countries, employers are really like interested if you have volunteering experience, because that means that you are committing your time to something that that you're doing just because you are volunteering. So it is really important that you commit to this volunteering experience, and you will have a lot of fun and you will enjoy it as well. So yeah, I really recommend, because it will improve both your networks and your skills also. So thank you for
And you
asking that
make
question.
friends as well, right, Alejandro?
Oh yes, a lot of fun, a lot of friends, and it is really amazing. And it is like if you're overwhelmed, having these connections beside your course and beside the friends that you have in your classes, you will have like these friends that you make, that have your same ideas, that are in your same page.
That's nice. Good. The last question goes to Phoebe. Phoebe, what do you have done to help you prepare for getting a job?
That's a great question. So first, I have been trying to really network both inside and outside of the campus. I find that trying to network outside of the campus, it would be helpful if you have really family and friends who could assist you in doing that. And inside the campus, I've been trying to participate in as much activities as I can. I've been working for the Student Work Assistance Program. I've been joining clubs such as PMC, which is a great way to just expose myself in dealing with different types of work and different types of people as well. I've also been volunteering for Volt, which is a great experience, especially right now that we have the Langara Connects. And basically, you just really get to encounter different types of people. And like Vin, Alejandro, and Felipe said, it's a really great preparation for you for the real world.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you, Phoebe. And this is the panelist for clubs.
Thank you. Thank you for all of that. And I confirm and I agree with everything you guys said. Clubs are a really important part in your experience here at Langara. And now we have the very, very important section about the mental health resources at Langara, and it's presented by Sophia. Please go ahead.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today. So my name is Sofia Kowalski. I just completed my last term as a business administration PDD student, having the opportunity of working at Langara for my co-op work term as a mental health ambassador coordinator. So I'm here to present to you about to present to you about the volunteering and even working experience as on the mental health programs. So we have two programs. We have the mental health ambassadors program and the peer wellness support program, where the students can work as a peer helper. So what is the objective of these programs? Well, we are looking here to destigmatize mental health for students and working directly with students as volunteers to work with faculty and staff and of course other students. So here we will be So here we will be creating, not only creating, but participating, having your ideas, and of course, creating new projects and events, managing projects and events as well. You students with us, the ambassadors coordinators, and of course, the mental health initiatives consultants. So the peer wellness support or the peer helpers, they will be working directly with other students as, directly wellness sessions. In this way, of course, all the students, all the volunteers will have a lot of training with that, not only informal training, but a lot of formal training with certifications. So students have the chance here to grow professionally and personally as well. And they will be having these wellness sessions and even one-on-one sessions as well. I highly recommend trying on the project and volunteering for this cause. Of course, we are on the Volt positions. Unfortunately for the summer, the mental health ambassadors spots are full now. However, we still have some spots as a peer helper. So you can talk to Tanya Miller about that. I believe maybe Felipe later on will send you an email with all the contacts and information, some links there where you can search and look more information on that. So yes, I was talking with Felipe last week and I told him, like, never when I started this journey as a college student here on Canada, I will think about working with a college, at the college, or even having my co-op work term there. I always thought, like, no, it's gonna be just like I studied back in Brazil. I'm going to college and then I'm going to an industry, I'm going to an organization. And I never even thought about getting involved with the college. And guys, I regretted so much not doing it earlier. So trust me, try getting on, try making some contacts, some networking, use all the means Langara has for you. So volunteering for the mental health programs, you will have the chance to work directly with the college and other students. But however, getting to know exactly what the college offers and promoting that for other students, because Langara has so many services for students, not only counseling or career planning financial aids, and some of the students might not even know all of these programs that and services that Lingara offers. So yes, of course, try diving on it, searching more for more information, and of course, contact Felipe for more information. He will know where to direct you. And yes, I believe that's all. A little faster than I expected. So yeah, so actually for only to sum up everything, we are here trying to create a bridge between students and the student services of the college. So if you decide to volunteer as a mental health ambassador or a peer helper, you'll be working on that. So the ambassadors will be more of a back end of the whole programs and the whole projects and services, where we'll be creating and managing new things, brainstorming some ideas, and then the peer helpers will have their hands dirty on really connecting with the students and getting to understand what the students need and what we are lacking. So yes, thank you so much for your time and attention and for giving me the time of speaking here today.
Thank you, Sophia. Thank you so much. And I just want to say that mental health, and the resources available in Lingara are so important, especially for international students. And I can personally say that my time here and my journey here has improved so much since I decided to reach out and ask for help whenever I needed it. And there's so much that you have, so much resources that you can make use of. So don't hesitate, and you're never alone. Okay, and now we have some questions for panelists. So Karini, please go ahead.
Yes. So the question goes to Antonio. Antonio, how beneficial do you think the mental health initiatives in our college can be for our students? Also, can you share some of your experience with this program?
So Green, thank you very much for the question. And well, I believe that the mental health initiatives in the college are very beneficial and important for the students, especially now with the pandemic, right? And I know that many of the students come to Canada alone. So of course, that's not an easy process. So speaking as a student, I really feel safer by knowing that I'm not alone here because I can count on the college. And also, I have recently become a mental health ambassador. And I can say that the college is working really hard and developing new projects in order to provide the students with all the necessary tools that can help them enjoy their courses and the life here in Vancouver.
Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, Karini. And now we have the Meet Your International Student Coordinator section with Felipe. So please go ahead. And I just want to tell the attendees, if you have any questions, put them on Slido and we'll get to them in the Q&A section.
Thank you very much, Doa. Yes, so as you can see, it's a lot of information, a lot for all of you to digest and to absorb everything that we've been discussing. So make sure you send your questions through Slido. If something comes up afterwards, please feel free to send me an email. I'm more than happy to address any questions that you might have. And also just to make sure that everyone has access to all the information provided here or wanted for some reason to review the information. We are recording this session and I'm going to send the link to all of you afterwards so you can watch this event again. So without further ado, let me share my screen so we can do the next presentation. Can you guys see? Let me see if I can. One sec. Okay. All right, this session is called Meet Your ISE. That's me in the picture, if you haven't noticed. My name is Felipe Moreira. I am your International Student Coordinator. I've been at Lingara for a little over 3 years now, and it started my journey as a student, as I mentioned in the beginning of the event, and I was in the PDD BA program. I was an extremely happy student on campus because I was able to not only get the most out of my academic experience and learn a lot from my instructors, but I was also very, very engaged and involved with the community. I was volunteering on campus. I joined clubs. I I attended several networking events, career events, workshops. We'll be talking a little bit about workshops as well throughout the rest of the event. So again, I think the reason why my experience was so successful as a student, and the main reason why I'm still involved with the community now as an international student coordinator of the programs, is because I was always very, very engaged with everything that was happening. And I must say that even with the online environment, that's what we have for now. You can still you've been listening from these amazing superstar students talking and sharing about their experiences with you, and they have all been very, very engaged and involved in this online environment as well. So you can still get a lot from your experience even in the virtual environment. So again, any questions that you have, please feel free to send them through slido.com. The code is LSM PDD. As it's been mentioned from some of our panelists, we have several student services available for all students, domestic and international. You can find all these services. Of course, I'm not going to go over each and every one of them here. We don't have the time, but you can access all these services and learn more about these services if you go to the Langara website and go to the search function, type in student services. This page will pop up and you have access to all these services, amazing services. I strongly recommend you to go through and learn more about them. I see here some of these services that the screen is showing. I see that you already sent some of questions in the Slido. We'll be addressing them in the Q&A function session at the end of the event. But it's really important that you become independent students. I would like to ask a question. For example, if you have a doubt, if you want to address, if you have an inquiry, you want to address a concern, what would you rather? How long would you like to have the answer for your question? 1 day, 2 days, 3 to 5 business days, or would you like to get that answer right away? I would assume that you want the answer right away, right? So you can have access to the answer to your question just by being curious. The more you navigate our website, the more you learn about resources. This weekend, I sent to you the International Student Guidebook, and I also sent to you the PDD Student Handbook. Kim talked a lot about the student handbook. Doa also mentioned her experience with the handbook as well. These resources, these tools are fundamental for your success. So please be curious and be independent. I would say that 80 to 90% of the inquiries that I answer by email, the answers are right there in our website, or they are in the PDD Student Handbook, or they are in the International Student Guidebook. So you can get access to the answer to your questions a lot faster, a lot quicker, in a much more independent way if you have that proactivity. So would you rather, again, I will ask, would you rather have access to the answers right away, or would you like to wait 3 to 5 business days? So yeah, so this is, if there's one thing that I would like for you to take away from my session here today, is be independent, be curious, navigate your student information system, navigate our website. Our website has a lot of information. Use all the tools and resources that we are making available to you. The International Student Services team, we have right now, our department used to be called International Education Department. Now it's called Langara Global. And we have a team dedicated to international student services. And that team is divided into IE assistants and IE ambassadors. The IE ambassadors are actually students that work providing support to other students. I think we have Karini here, who's one of the IE ambassadors. We also have all the international student coordinators. I'm just one of them. We have 6 other international student coordinators providing support to all international students in all the programs that we have at Lingera. We have a student engagement team responsible for all the campus events, for the volunteering programs, for cultural celebrations. And we also have the counseling team as well, providing support in terms of mental health, as we've heard from Sophia recently. One thing that I would like to address, it's that I think it's really important, it's about communication adequate. And this is fundamental for you to be successful. So we have several channels to communicate. And communication with the college could be through emails. It could be through one-on-one appointments when we are back on campus. Right now, that's not an option, but hopefully in the fall semester, we'll be back on campus, and hopefully this will be an option as well. Several departments have the option for you to call and talk to one of the representatives or leave a message and we can get back to you. Another thing really important that I'm going to address with you is the Zoom drop-in sessions. At some point this week, I'm going to send you an email with the link to the Zoom drop-in sessions. Also, in my auto response, when you send me an email, you receive an automatic reply from my inbox with the link to my Zoom drop-in sessions. Every Wednesdays and Fridays, I'm available to talk to each and every one of you. And we also have on our website the live chat. So there are several ways that you can communicate with us in the college. But it's really important that you have proper etiquette and you know how to communicate with us. Sometimes we get emails that are completely inadequate format. Emails without a subject, emails without signature, emails that we have to read 3, 4, 5 times before we understand. So it's really important that you see this experience at Lingera, not just learning within the classroom, but developing yourself to the business world. So when you communicate with us, when you send us an email, you have to think that you're sending a professional email. You're sending an email like you are in a professional environment. So make sure you put a subject in your email. Make sure you sign your email, especially adding your student ID number. Without your student ID number, it's really hard for us to support you. Make sure you read and what you're writing to make sure that you're clear about the message that you're trying to convey. And if you're sending us an email, make sure that you have done your research before sending us the email. Sometimes the answer, like I said, it's in the website or is in your student handbook or is in the International Student Guidebook. You all have access to those resources. So if you send us a lot of emails with information that you could get access by yourselves, not only you're taking a lot of valuable time that could be to address other students' important needs, but also it will delay your access to that information. Another thing that is important to mention is that you need to follow business hours. We all work 8:30 to 4:30 or 9 to 5. Sometimes we have students emailing us on a Friday night, and then they don't get the answer by Sunday night, and they start sending us emails complaining, hey, please revert, please answer this email. It's been 2 days. So we work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, or Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. Those are the business hours that we work. So when we say in my auto reply, you probably have seen it already. And again, it's really important that you read the auto responses. Sometimes a lot of the answers that you have to the questions that you have are there in the auto reply. We say that it's 2 to 3 business days or 3 to 5 business days, depending on the time of the semester. So the response time might be delayed because we work business hours. So please respect that responding time. So if you get the auto reply saying that the response time is 3 to 5 business days. Don't email us again the following day. Hey, I sent you this email. I really need this information. If we see that it is an urgent inquiry, we will try to get to it as soon as we can. But again, because we receive a really, really high volume of inquiries, and again, I cannot stress this enough, most of the times the inquiries that we receive, the answers, the students have access to those answers without sending us an email. There is a very, sometimes depending on the time of the semester, it might take us a while to get to all the emails. So please bear with us and be patient. Again, business writing, use proper language. You don't email your instructors saying, hey, prof, or you don't say, hey, bro. You have to use professional language. You have to understand the proper way to communicate. And last but not least, very important, please do not contact staff or instructors on their personal social media accounts. I get a lot of people reaching out to me on Facebook or even on LinkedIn, which is a professional platform, asking questions that are related to their programs. Or because they sent an email, didn't get the answer right away, they reach out to us on social media asking questions. So please, staff's social media, it's a personal account. It's not a professional account, or it's not a working account. Even if it's a LinkedIn profile, this is not a channel of communication for school-related business, okay? So again, make sure you make good use of online resources. Our website is phenomenal. If you use the search function on our website and type in whatever question you have, I'm sure you will find your answer. And after you've done your research, if for some reason you can't find the answer, then you can come to us and ask questions. It's funny because sometimes students think that the international student coordinators are Google. Whenever they have a question, the first instinct that they have, so I'm going to send Felipe an email. I don't mind replying to emails. It's quite the opposite. I'm very happy to be of any help to all the students. And I might not have all the answers. I usually don't have all the answers, but I might know who will have the answers to your questions. So I will direct you to the right department, or I will direct you to the right person to address that need that you might have. But again, make sure that before you reach out to us, you make use of all the online resources that we have. And again, make sure you make good use of the student handbook and the international student guidebook. Every semester, especially in the beginning of the semester with new students, I get tons of questions about the transition from their home country to the college, how to do this, how to do that, and how to attend classes, how to log into Brightspace. All those informations are very, very accessible through the student handbook, the international student guidebook, and also on our website. So please make sure you read it very, very carefully and very, very thoroughly. It's, again, as I said in the beginning, I know it's a lot of information, but you will get the hang of it. You will learn, and as we've heard from the panelists, you will see that you will be very, very well adapted. Like I said, Zoom drop-in sessions. It's a one-on-one drop-in advising session for students through the Zoom platform. So I host my drop-in sessions every Wednesday and Friday. So that will be a waiting room, and you have to wait. It's on a first come, first serve basis. So when you join the room, the Zoom link, you will be on a waiting room. As soon as I'm ready to see you, I will invite you in the session and we'll talk. Please make sure you always have your student ID number ready, because for us to provide you with good support, we need your student ID number. And be patient. Sometimes we have, depending on the time of the semester, we have 10, 15 students on a waiting room. So it takes some time to see all of them. So if you're in the waiting room for 10, 20, 30 minutes, 1 hour, or 40 minutes, please don't log back in and out, because you will be directed to the end of the line. So if you want to take a picture of this slide, this is the Zoom link, the meeting ID, like I said, every Wednesday and Friday from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. But I will send you an email with that information as well. And because I know that new students, they sometimes are very, very insecure, they're anxious, they don't know what they don't know. We have this program that I find phenomenal. It's the iGuide mentorship program. I was a mentor in this program when I was a student. I had 7 mentees throughout my journey as a student at Langara. Some of these mentees are my friends to this day. So it's a great opportunity for you to connect with other students, for you to have access to information, for you to have access to all opportunities on campus in terms of volunteering, work, attending events. So you can ask your mentors for advice, for support, and you can become friends with them. Some of the panelists that we have here, if not all of them, they are mentors in the program, and they have been mentees in the program. So they have received support from more seasoned and more experienced students, and now they are providing the new students with the knowledge and the experience that they have, helping them adapting as fast and as smoothly as they can. Sorry, I'm rushing because of the time. We also have a lot of workshops happening right now. Like I said, everything is online. I'll be sending out an email this week as well with the calendar for all these events and workshops. These workshops are a great resource for you to have access to information. So there are immigration workshops, lifestyle workshops, and student success workshops. I'm not going to go through this list, but again, feel free to take a picture. And again, I will send a link with the calendar with all the workshops happening. Make sure you sign up for them. You will not regret. It's a lot of useful information. And that's it. Thank you. I had some questions that I was gonna ask V for us to address with Slido. If we have time to go over those polls and quizzes at the Q&A, we'll do. Is that okay, V? Do you mind if we do it afterwards?
Of course, of course.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna pass it back to Doa. Thank you so much for your time and patience. And Doa, off to you.
Thank you, Felipe. And I just want to restate that it's going to take time for you to get used to everything on the website, but once you try exploring it, you'll find that it gets easier and there's a lot of information there. We have a few questions for our panelists, so Karina, please go ahead.
The next question goes to Phoebe. So, Phoebe, how is post-secondary school different in Canada compared to post-secondary life in your home country?
Okay, so for me, there are 3 things that stood out that is different. First is just there's a high level of participation here in Canada, especially in terms of independence, like what Felipe said earlier. And
you're in mute. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Now.
Okay. And the second one is the availability of resources to us. Like, for example, what Sophia discussed earlier with mental health. I don't think I saw that back in my school in the Philippines. And the last one is how we address our professors, like in class. It took me some time to adjust to it, to not call them ma'am, sir, and just be on a first name basis with our professors. But all in all, I can say that the adjustment was fine. Langara was very supportive all throughout. And yeah, I mean, it was not a walk in the park, but it was a great experience. And I really appreciate what Langara has done for us.
Thank you, Phoebe. The next question goes to Alejandro. So Alejandro, can you share some stud tips or time management skills that you have learned, especially considering the online learning environment with the new students?
Hi, thanks for asking that. Well, really, what the tips that I can give to new students is like never procrastinate, never leave everything for the last minute. it is very overwhelming if you reach the deadlines and you haven't finished what you have to do, or you are not prepared for your exams or for your quizzes, or you are not prepared for to submit your assignments. And I think students tend to cheat or to do things that they are not supposed to do if they are overwhelmed. Instead, if they are prepared in advance, they will not be stressed at the last minute. So I always recommend not to procrastinate, and also like always prepare in advance. Always try to study in a weekly basis. I really try to study in a weekly basis. So I always try to be prepared for any question during the classes. Well, another thing that I recommend is using an agenda. I always use an agenda. I have my agenda always with me. And another technique that I learned at Langara is like the Pomodoro technique, for example. I always use it. Maybe you're going to learn about it in the first term. And it is just to stay focused always 25 minutes and then have a rest of 5 minutes and just play with that. And you will always like be focused on what you are studying or what you are doing. And it really gives a lot of good results, and it helps you a lot with your time management to succeed in your studies. Thank you.
That is really helpful, Alejandro. Thank you. Zoa?
Thank you, Alejandra. Thank you, Phoebe. And yeah, that was really helpful. And now we have the very important section of student rights and responsibilities by our division chair, Marianne. So please go ahead.
Thank you. Hi again, everyone. And I'm sure by this point we are an hour and 20 minutes. You're probably feeling completely overwhelmed. So I'm going to make this as short and clear as I can. And I will also upload my PowerPoint into the chat so that you can access all of the links as you on your own time and at your own pace. So welcome again to Langara College. And today I'm going to be talking about you and Langara College. So whether you're studying via your home country or you're in Vancouver, it's important. We're going to talk a bit about awareness and understanding to set you up for success here at the college, and what your rights are and responsibilities are as a student of Langara College. Because you're coming into a different new educational environment, as well as a new culture, even online. So while you're residing in your home country, and we will be online for the summer, we do not know about the fall yet. It's very unpredictable, but you must understand that you are in Canadian and North American culture whenever you are participating in any classes, in any clubs, in any kind of volunteer activity. You are in Canada. It's really important that that mindset begin to sink in, and you need to think about it, because there are going to be expectations for you as a student, for you as a volunteer, for you as an employee that may be very different, diametrically opposed from one spectrum to the other of what you now expect or do in your own culture, in your own school, in your own home. Things will be very, very different, and it can be a difficult change to make, especially being remote and not here. Some of the things for success that I will talk a bit about today are the high academic ethics, high academic standards that we expect every student coming into our academic institutions to put first and to uphold. This is not a Langara rule or expectation. This is a North America-wide post-secondary education expectation, that you have high academic ethics, also known as integrity, also known as honesty, that the work that you do is your own work, and that you do not present work that you have gotten from other people without acknowledging who the true owner of the work is. you have not shared work with another person, and you have not done your homework or your online exams or your online assignments with other people, and that includes friends and family. That's really critical, and that's where I get involved a lot with students in a negative way when they haven't upheld the high academic ethics and integrity that we expect, and you get caught for violating our academic integrity guidelines and policy. I'll get into that a little bit later. The other thing I want to talk about is just helping yourself. These are going to be difficult times. They already are worldwide. Again, it's not easy. You need to be able to get the help that you need for yourself and for your own well-being. And if that means that you access some of the services online, please take advantage of it. We also are a culture where if you need help, you ask for it, and that is okay. And we don't want people to be on your own suffering, because that doesn't help you and it doesn't help us. So please take advantage of all the resources that are made available to you. The way we define success in our culture is your adaptability to new environments. Doesn't matter that you're remote. As I said earlier, you're coming into a new environment. That environment is Canada. Yes, you're going to be on Zoom a lot. If you need to go to a meeting, go to a class, see one of your advisors, meet with Felipe, join a club, all of that will be done via Zoom. When you're in Zoom and it's in Canada, you're in a Canadian setting. And so the quicker you can figure out and understand how to adapt and what the cultural differences are, how people talk, how they talk to each other, the written language that we use, how we write, etc., the better you will be when you get here in person. The more easier the transition will be when you're here physically. The ability to ask for help, to help yourself or ask for help. Felipe is right. If you have a phone, how many of you use Google or Firefox or another search engine to look up the answer to a question you might have? The same thing applies here. You have a lot of materials and resources at your fingertips. You have Google, you can look up langara.ca. On our website, there is a search bar. Any question you have, you can search on the Langara website. You can find out the scheduled dates for summer. So you can know when the final exam period is. You can know when classes end. You can find out when classes start this week. When do classes start in September? All those questions you have are already on the website. It's just a matter of familiarizing yourself with how to help yourself. The other thing for success is understanding what is required of you as a student. Every single class you start will have a syllabus. You won't get the syllabus necessarily until the first day of classes. You will have access to our learning management system, Brightspace, on May the 6th at 12:01 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So you could log in, find your Brightspace courses, and then look at what is available to you to review. And hopefully there will be the syllabus for each class that you're registered in. When you're in Vancouver, it means getting a part-time job, keeping up with school, the school workload, and looking after your physical, mental, and emotional health. All of those things, as you've heard from our panelists, are going to be incredibly difficult, overwhelming, stressful. And if you understand and can learn how to look after yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, getting enough exercise, getting enough sleep, talking to people, doing something that helps relax your mind, whether that's meditating, listening to music, playing games, socializing with your friends, doing yoga, and then looking after your emotional health, talking to other people, understanding when things are bothering you and getting help to deal with it. That will help you be successful in life, not just in Canada and in Vancouver. So I want to ask you, I'm not going to read this whole slide. How many of you have received notice that you were enrolled into a course called the Langara Student Success Course? This course starts registering students as early as April. Every student, every brand new student coming into Langara, and for this summer, there are 2,200 brand new students. Every one of you has been enrolled in this course, the Langara Student Success Course. You should have received an email giving you the link to the course, which is in Brightspace, and directing you how to register for the course. And I cannot stress enough the importance of going into this course and completing it, because it will give you a good grounding in how you need to be able to manage your time, develop your study skills, so you can make the best of your opportunity at Langara. It's a free course. You have until the end of the summer semester to complete it. You don't have to complete it, but what we have found is that students who finish this course do better academically at Langara compared to students who don't complete the course. Because you come out of the course with a realistic understanding of what you need to be, what you need to do as a student in Canada at Langara College. So I highly recommend that you do this course. Your rights as a Langara student, you have a right to privacy. This is really important. At Langara College, we are bound by the province of British Columbia government to protect your privacy. And that means that all of your data that resides on your transcript, all of the information about where your home address is, your social insurance number, which you will get at some point, all of that private information we have to keep in British Columbia. We cannot hold it or host it on servers outside of Canada. You have the right to your own privacy and to your email. Every one of you is assigned a langara.ca Outlook email. It's a Microsoft 365 product if you're not already using it. This email is critical for you to use in all correspondence with the college. Do not use your Gmail, your Yahoo, your Hotmail, whatever other personal email you have when you're communicating with Langara. Now that you are a Langara student, with your instructors, with Felipe, with your advisors, with your, if you join a group, with your members of your group, with the registrar's office, with anyone who is in Langara College, you must use your Langara email. That is important. If you have a preferred email, that's great. You could arrange to forward your Outlook email to your preferred email. It's better, however, for you and for us if you only communicate and read your Langara email while you're a Langara student doing student-oriented things. Your personal email and your mobile number are private. You're not expected to give out your private email and your private mobile number. So if anyone other than a friend who you meet, if an instructor, if an employee says to you, let's exchange personal emails, or hey, everybody, can you all give me your cell phone number because it's easier for me if we can connect with each other via our mobile numbers. That's a no-no. We don't advise for your own protection and privacy that you give away personal information. That's why everything has to be done by the Langara email. Always in the classroom, you have a right to a safe and respectful classroom, virtually and face-to-face, always. We have policies and human rights codes that govern how you are treated, and that is by your classmates as well as by your instructors. So if you ever feel that you are being tormented, harassed, bothered by a classmate, there are vehicles and avenues for you to get help. If you ever feel that you are being bothered, tormented, harassed by your instructor, there are other vehicles to get help with that as well. So it's really important for you to understand that despite being online, you're still in Canada. And so the rules of fair treatment and human rights and respect and regard for other people's dignity apply here in Canada. And so it's really important that you feel safe. And if you don't, you need to get help. And talking to Felipe to let him know, talking to your instructor, talking to your advisor, we will all direct you. You can even come and talk to me. We will all direct you to where to get help. Your rights, you have the right to be graded fairly, to know your course progress, and you have to attend class and do the assignments, right? In order to get some grades and get some updates on your progress. To a safe, respectful, inclusive college environment, you have the right to fail or succeed. Nobody controls that except for you. And that may be one of the primarily different or distinctive cultural challenges that you may run up against, is everything that you earn in the courses that you take, you earn it on your own. I don't do anything as your instructor. I never change your grades because you need a higher grade. What you get is based on the work that you have done in your classes at the college. So one of the things we do not like and we do not respect from students is when you get a grade on an assignment and you don't like the grade because it's not high enough. So you come to the instructor and you say, oh, I'm just 2 points away from getting a C+ or a B-. Can you give me an extra grade? Don't do that. It will be met with a no, and the instructor will start to disrespect you because you're asking for something that isn't right and fair because you didn't earn the grade that you got. If, on a different note, you found a mistake in the grading, then you go back and talk to your instructor and say, can we review my assignment? Can we review my exam? Because I'm not sure about how I got the grade that you gave me. Then you can walk through to understand where you lost points. But we don't give out grades just because you want to be in a higher grade point average, unless it's proven that there was a mistake made. You can ask for a review of your graded assessments always. Every instructor has what are called office hours. These hours are specifically for you to come in and visit your instructor to talk about how you're doing in the course, to see your assignments, to review your grades, to get some help with some challenges you might have with an assignment or some areas of the course that you're not understanding. Those office hours are for you to drop in. Or if you cannot make the office hours, you can email the instructor and say, hey, can we meet at another time because I'm working or not available during your office hours? Suggest to the instructor some other times that you can meet with them. As I said earlier, you have the right to ask for help when you're harassed, bullied, discriminated against, including violence or aggression, even while you're online. The college has resources to help you and to help protect you or get you help. You have the right to due process and procedural fairness when involved in investigations of inappropriate conduct or other policy violations. So we have a standard set of practices and procedures that we go through. So if you were found cheating, or you were found to have worked with a friend, or you were found to have found an assignment that was done in another semester by a student at Langara, your instructor will submit a misconduct report to the Student Conduct and Judicial Affairs Office. And they will then decide on what the sanction will be for that practice. And a lot of times, depending upon how bad the violation is, you could fail an assignment, fail an exam, or fail a course. And oftentimes, if you have been found to cheat or plagiarize more than twice, then your case comes to me and I have to do research on all of your previous misconduct and then decide what the sanction is going to be. And I will tell you right now, it is not a pleasant affair for you or for me. Oftentimes, I look at the history of what people have done when they have cheated or when they've plagiarized. I look at the type of violation and how egregious or how bad it is. And I may decide to fail you in your course because of the fact that that I'm seeing your case because you've cheated twice or more times. And if you fail your course, you have to pay to repeat the same course again. Same if you fail your course just because you didn't do enough work or you didn't do a good job of doing the work. If you fail the final exam and you fail the course, you have to pay to take that course over again, especially if it's required in your program. There'll be lots of painful learning lessons, but it would be my fervent wish that I never have to meet you on the academic misconduct side, that I never have to email any one of you a letter saying that you have been found to have been confirmed for academic misconduct, and unfortunately I'm going to fail you in your course. So please do your own work and get as much help as you need to understand how the environment in our education system differs from your own and what the rules are that will guide your academic integrity and honesty. Your responsibilities are to attend classes where mandatory. So now you're on Zoom. And if you have a bad connection in the School of Management, unless you are presenting in a live class, you are not expected to have your camera on all the time. For the live sessions, unless they are expressly needed for attendance, like presentation skills and negotiation skills, you have to attend those classes, but you don't have to have your camera on. If you are having bandwidth or Wi-Fi troubles, please let your instructor know. Please email them. If you're missing class because you're having a personal issue, a medical issue, and you know a family member is having an issue given the state of the world, please email your instructor and let them know. If you can email in advance, that's great, but oftentimes things happen after. But communication with your instructor is critical. I'm not going to go through these links, but some of the other responsibilities which you will see when I upload the PowerPoint: the classroom learning environment and expectations, absence and attendance and absence from classes, final exams, cheating and plagiarism, concerns about instruction are all avenues that give you guidance for proper behavior and actions in an academic environment and even in a setting in which other people are working together. Concerns about our instruction are when you feel that your instructor is doing or teaching in a way that isn't necessarily appropriate. Maybe they're speaking rudely, maybe they're making jokes or making comments that are inappropriate and make you feel uncomfortable. Maybe the way they're teaching is too fast or you're not getting enough information. You can talk to them about your concerns. And if they do not respect your concerns and they do not hear you, you can go to your next level, which would be the department chair. So I encourage you to read these links to these guidelines for your own education and your own knowledge and benefit. Responsibility to act with integrity. So in the work that you do at Langara and beyond, the expectation is that you do it honestly. So integrity isn't something that you just do while you're in an academic environment. Integrity is who you are. It is one of your moral codes. It is one of your highest values, that you will be honest in everything that you do. And while you're in school, that means the work that you do is your own work. You haven't had help from anybody else. You haven't gone up to a cheating website like Chegg or Course Hero and pulled down information. You haven't asked previous PDD students who you know to share their assignments with you so that you can copy them and upload them. And you're not asking friends and family or classmates to help you when you're doing an assignment on your own remotely. This applies even when you're online. So it's going to be really easy to, with a friend that you met in your class, to be on Zoom together in Brightspace doing an exam and sharing your answers. when you're caught, you will fail that exam. No question. Resist the temptation. It will get really difficult for you. Things are going to be upside down, topsy-turvy, and crazy while you are adapting to this new world of being a remote online student. Please resist the temptation to cheat, to Google answers, to use paraphrasing tools, because if you're caught, it's not going to be good for you, and it's not going to be good for us. Every time a student cheats, it cheapens the value of the work that you do. It cheapens the value of the work that other honest students do. It cheapens the value of the degree or diploma that you are working towards. So those are important things to remember when you're tempted. Okay, links to get you oriented. I will post this. Thank you so much for your time. And then there's some policies, another additional group of policies that you can look at. Also, don't forget about the Langara Student Union. Great resource for you. You're paying fees for the student union, so take advantage of it. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll put this up in the chat right away.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you. That was a lot of important information. So please make sure to download the presentation and take a look at it at your own time. And now we have the final questions for our panelists. So Karine, please go ahead.
Yes, so the first question goes to Dean. Dean, what support services around Langara you have utilized to help you academically?
Thank you so much. That's a really difficult question, I would say, because there are so many services, as you've been hearing from all the previous guys who have spoken. There are, I mean, I cannot just name even 10 services on my fingertips, but if I would say some of the services that I've used is mainly the writing center in college, peer tutoring, which is also a really helpful one, which basically past students, experienced students are teaching you or helping you with your studies in particular courses. I've also used clubs for networking and building your connections. Another important one that I've used is the iGuide mentorship program that Felipe was mentioning earlier in this session, wherein your mentor helps you get through your initial semesters or initial terms at Langara. If I can mention anything else, I think also another thing is the co-op department. Co-op department also has a C3 job board, so wherein you can apply for swap positions, that is work on campus kind of jobs, and also other jobs that probably people have listed on that portal. So these are the few services. I mean, there are a lot of services to make use of from Langara, and you mean to know all of them. Obviously, you wouldn't know all of them in your first term, but as you progress in your terms, you would surely know services. There are counseling services also, and if I would suggest that if you need something, I'm sure there is a solution and a service for it at Langara, which you wouldn't have to pay for. I mean, if you want to hire someone from outside Langara. So I would suggest to either search on the website for that particular service, or even contact your student coordinator to know about these services. There are a lot of them, and mostly I've used a lot of them, and they have been pretty helpful to me. Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you, Vin. Next question goes to Phoebe. So Phoebe, have you ever had or witnessed any issue with an instructor or staff member of the college? If so, how was the issue dealt with? What's the best approach in your opinion?
In terms of issues, I think the most recent one that I've encountered is when it comes to grades and the letter grade equivalence. I've encountered an issue with a professor where the grade was, it seemed wrong, and the grade letter equivalent was different from what I was expecting and what was posted on Langara's website. So what we did with that is I sent a professional email to the professor, and then we checked out the grades together, and then it was fixed right away. And I think that there was no better way to have fixed that rather than with what is in accordance with Langara's current policies when it comes to issues like that. I think I also need to stress out the fact that, you know, if you're a new student and you're researching online for reviews when it comes to professors, online reviews can be very subjective. I know the pressure and the nervousness that I felt when I was an incoming student in Langara, and I researched these professors and I saw negative reviews, and you know, it was a bad experience for me. But then it turns out that I made myself nervous for no reason at all, because when I met the professor, he or she was actually really nice. It was a really good class, and yeah, I think that, you know, we should just wait for our own experience, because what's good for me can't be good for everyone else.
So good, thank you, Phoebe. The next question goes to Antonio. So Antonio, have you witnessed or been part of an involuntary academic integrity violation?
So Karine, actually, no, I have never witnessed and never been part of that. And as you all heard from Marianne, academic integrity is something that Langara take very seriously. And one thing that Alejandro said before, which I believe it's very important, please guys, don't procrastinate, work hard, study hard, and I'm sure that you won't need to do wrong things, you know, so that's my advice, do the right thing.
Perfect, thank you, Antonio. The last question goes to Camila. So Camila, what advice you would give to new students to avoid any academic integrity violations, such as cheating, plagiarism?
That's a good question. I would advise new students to be aware about plagiarism, because we have like many people from all over the world, and assignments in each country can be different. Like maybe in your own home country, it's not plagiarism, but in Canada it is. So I recommend to do like the Langara Student Success course, because there is a section over there that explains like really in a good way, easy to understand, how to avoid it. So do your citations properly. And last semester I did an academic integrity workshop. So with this semester they probably offer as well. I recommend you to do, because you'll be more clear about how to do citations properly and what you can do and what you cannot do, and so you'll be avoid to be in trouble.
Thank you, Camila. That was it, Noah.
Thank you, Karini. Thank you, everyone. And now I'll just hand it back over to Felipe for the closing remarks and for the questions, your questions on Slido. And thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Marianne, for the very informative session. Thank you, the panelists as well. I think when we hear from our peers, and I remember when I was a student, when I was listening to stories from other students, it made so much more sense to me, because they had been through those experiences, and learning from their own experiences was fundamental for my success as a student. So I really want to thank all of you who came here today early in the morning to share your knowledge and share your experiences. You have no idea how much you have been helpful for all these new students. Thank you very much. Before I continue with my closing remarks, I'm going to ask V, my colleague V, to go on Slido, and we have some polls and quizzes to kind of go over a little bit of what we've discussed here, just to make sure that you all got the information that you needed. And if there's one opportunity where you can get questions wrong, this is it. No problem. We'll go over the answers afterwards, so you're not being graded or anything like that. So V, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening to all of you. My name is V. I'm the program assistant of the management programs. It's nice to meet you. And today we're gonna go through some questions. Some of you gonna say, oh no, I start having like multiple choices questions already, even I'm not in school, but no way, it's just for fun and just to check out what have you got from the orientation. So let's go on Slidos and I'll be posting our questions. So our first question is, if you have a questions regarding your course planning, who should you reach out to? So now you can go to your Slidos and start voting for it. Okay, as a one person, 8 people, 10, great. I'm seeing people voting for program advisor, international student coordinator, program assistant. Great. 30 people.
I think Marianne is happy with the 0% individual share. No one's going to bother her with
no one's going to bother
course planning questions.
Exactly. Okay. So I think we're going to stop there just to see the questions, just to see the answer, because we have another question to go for. All right. I'm going to lock the voting right here. And the answer is program advisor. So congratulations to those of you who voted for program advisor.
So I just want to make a quick comment, if I may. Of course, if you reach out to me about your course planning, I might be able to help you. But the program advisors, you just heard from Kim earlier talking about the program overview and the student handbook. We have Kim and Susan, who are amazing advisors. So they are responsible for the course planning moving forward. So if for some reason you fail a course and you became off track, you need to reassess your program curriculum, or if you are on a wait list for a course, they are the ones who are going to help you with those inquiries.
That's great. Thank you, Phil, for sharing. Okay, our next questions. Just out of your, what you think, what is more important in terms of student assessments? Is that academic performance? Is that volunteering? Is that networking or community engagement? You can vote now on Slido. Can you guys vote for it? Okay, perfect. All right. I see more academic performance.
So this is like a rating question. So you have to choose in order of your preference. So whatever you think it's more important, you press first, and then the second, the third, and so on and so forth.
This is a great practice, right, Philippe? Because the next 2 questions are the quizzes, and the winner of those quizzes is gonna get one of our Starbucks gift cards. So this is a great practice for all of them. All right, I'm gonna log right here. And it seems like academic performance is highly expected in terms of like having student success course, and then volunteering opportunities, networking, and then community engagement, right at the order that you have it here today.
And this is very interesting because there's no right or wrong here in this question. It really is related to your core values and related to your expectations out of this program. However, you must really understand that all these factors are fundamental for your success as a student. So not just academic performance or not just networking initiatives. Some people chose other might have been working on or off campus. All those things are important in the concept of student success. So make sure you find the time and the energy and find the balance between all those things in order for you to be successful.
Okay, so our last 2 questions belong to the quizzes. And just to remind you that the winner who answered right and answered the fastest, those 2 quizzes will get one of our Starbucks gift cards. So you have 15 seconds to answer those 2 following. Okay, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. What is the minimum program GPA required to graduate from the LSM PDD programs? Is it 2.5, 2.33, 2, or 1.5?
4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
Time's up. Okay. Go to the second question. Are you ready?
Good. Yes. So just we get 79% of the students saying 2.33, and they are correct.
Yes.
So for those of you who said 2.5 or 2.0 or even 1.5, you needed 2.33 overall program GPA in order to graduate from the programs.
Mm-hmm. The next questions, ready in 3, 2, 1. Oh,
we have the leaderboard. Okay. So Ashwin was actually the winner. He was the fastest one who got the right answer. So Ashwin, please send us your student ID number in the chat, and we'll reach out to you with your Starbucks gift card.
Mm-hmm. Next questions. How many credit required in total for the PDD accounting, PDD marketing management, and PDD BA programs? Oh my God, it's a hard one, Philippine.
So this one is hard.
This one is hard. Philippine, let us know what is the right answer.
Okay, so it was very, very divided. About a third got it right and 2/3 got it wrong. The PDD accounting is a little bit of a longer program, so it requires 60 credits for you to graduate. PDD marketing and PDD business, they require 42 credits within the program curriculum. You can find that information in your student handbook and also in the program curriculum that you all have received from me on your emails.
Perfect. And the winner is Kutherin. Yay!
So send us your student ID number so we can reach out to you and give you your Starbucks gift card.
Mm-hmm. That's it for us today. For all the questions that you've been sending to Slido, will you be able to address it in the email, Philippine, or?
So what we can do now, because it's already 9 a.m., I know that we are on time to end the event. So for those of you who have to leave, we understand. Once again, I want to thank the panelists and the hosts of each of the sessions for attending the event, for providing extremely important information for all the students. And we'll continue. I can stay here for about 10 to 15 more minutes. So if you would like to stay, I can go over some of the questions. For those of you who have to leave, no worries. We will, this session is being recorded. So I will send you at some point this week the link to the recording and you can watch it afterwards. Actually, as a matter of fact, I strongly encourage you to do that because like I said, it's really hard to absorb all the information. It's a lot of information in 2 hours, but at least you'll have the recording as a resource. Okay, so let's go to the Slido and see. Can you put this share the screen, V, the Slido, and try to answer some of the questions?
Absolutely, absolutely. Give me one quick second.
And for the panelists that remain in the room, feel free to chime in and answer the questions as well if you want. You don't have to leave right away. Feel free to answer. So
we have the QR code on the left-hand side, so feel free to scan it and get into Slido. Go for your question or leave the question there, or you can go to slido.com and then put in the code.
Awesome. So first question, the most popular question that we had was, should I expect an email from my instructors with orientation about how to get required books, or this will be addressed by them in class? So when you go onto your Brightspace and you access your courses, you will have access to your course outline, and you will have access to all the requirements of that course. It will tell you the information about your textbook, what edition. So you will have all that information on Brightspace when you click on your course. However, I strongly encourage you to wait until you first week of classes and you talk to your instructors, because they will reinforce and explain to you what is the right edition of the textbook that will be required. If they will allow you to use a PDF version, or if you need to buy a hard copy, or if you need to buy a brand new copy because there will be a code or something in that textbook that you need to use, or if you can buy a used version of the textbook. So all those informations, all that information can be received in your first week of classes with your instructor. So I do not advise you to buy in advance. Panelists, do you have anything to add on this question?
Actually, it's just what, as you said, you always like this. The best option is to wait to the first day of class, and they will tell you what to buy, what's the book and everything, what you have to purchase for the class.
So another thing that I think it's important to mention is that there is on Facebook a few groups that I think one of them is called Lingera Textbook Buy and Sell, something like that. So one of you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you can join those Facebook groups, and students are constantly selling their used textbooks over there. So if your instructor allows you to use a used version of your textbook, you can try to find it on sale with one of these students, and it's a way for you to get the textbook at a cheaper, more reasonable opportunity. And again, you can always resell those books using the same channel at the end of the semester. So that's if you don't want to keep the textbooks. That's exactly what I did. So when I was a student, I had some of my textbooks would cost over $100 or almost $200, some of them. And I was able to buy them, used versions of them, by $80, $90. And at the end of the semester, I sold them, if not by the same price, maybe $10 or $20 cheaper. And so this way I had a minimum expenditure with my textbooks. You will also sometimes I mentioned the iGuide mentorship program. Sometimes when you talk to a more experienced student, they will have access to PDF versions of the textbooks as well. So they might send you the file. And if your instructors allow you to use a PDF version of the textbook, you don't need to spend any money with it. Okay, so that's that. So we have another question here. I want to ask when my first semester end, particular date, as we have to book our flights. So how do you think you find, before I answer this question, how do you think you will find the answer to this question? Is it sending an email to your international student coordinator or to the program advisors? So the best way to find the answer to this question, and this is really important because a lot of times you will have questions about important dates. So if you go to the Lingera website and type in important dates, you will see the calendar with all the important dates of the semester. So you can click on summer semester and there will be a calendar with all the important dates. And thank you, Vin. Vin put the link on the chat function so you can click on the link and check the important dates. And you will see, that when the first semester ends. So for example, I don't know by heart, but I'm here in the link. I clicked on the link and I looked at the last day of classes is actually August 31st. It's the last day of the summer semester. The last day of classes is August 5th. And the final examinations will be from August 9 to August 20th. So if you want to travel, after your classes, I would recommend that you book your traveling between the 20th of August and the beginning of the semester on September. So I hope I have asked that question. So where we get our class link and our instructor schedule. So like I said, you will have access to your Brightspace. Marianne mentioned the Brightspace. Brightspace is the platform where you will have access to all your courses. So by logging in on Brightspace and clicking on your courses, you have all the information about your courses. You all have received an email from me with your term 1 schedule, with all the courses that you take in, the days of your classes and the times of your classes. So make sure you are aware of when your classes officially start on May 6th. However, it might be that your classes will start only on May 7th or even on May 10th because of your term 1 schedule. So make sure you check. Each of you has a different schedule, so I can't really say specifically. Okay, so let's move on to another question. V, can you scroll down for me so we can see? So do you think the fall term will have the online option? That's a very good question. We are expected to go back on campus in the fall semester. So that's the recommendation by the health authorities. However, there are so many variables in play. For example, at this time, Brazil and India are facing a major outbreak with COVID. For example, Indian students cannot travel to Canada at this moment. So we really don't know what to expect then. So we really need to wait to see what's going to happen because everything is so uncertain right now. For brand new students and for students on their second term, which will be the case for you, I'm expecting and hoping that we will provide some online options because maybe some of you won't be able to come to Canada. However, you need to prepare to be in Canada in the fall semester because that's what it's expected from us. Books, we already talked about books. How do we have access to classes in case we miss due to any issue, or is there no such way? So that's a good question. So if you will miss, your classes are synchronous, so you need to attend the classes. The classes are live. So you need to be, if you are in your home country, you need to be mindful of the time zone differences and possible connectivity issues. So depending on where you are, it might mean that you have classes at 1 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning. So if that is the case, you need to be awake and attend your classes. However, if something happens, like life happens, and it happens to all of us, if you know in advance, please email your instructors. The better you communicate with your instructors, the better you will find solutions for your problems. So if you're gonna miss a class for whatever reason, please make sure you email your instructor in advance and let them know that you won't be able to attend that class. Ask if there is any important information that you need to go over, and ask if there will be access to a recording or something like that. And if possible, the instructors will help you, okay? But I do not recommend you missing a lot of classes. If you miss a lot of classes, you're gonna be in trouble. Is there any place in the campus that we can get help to find temporary job on campus or off campus? Yes, that's a very good question. We do have a department on campus called the co-op department. The co-op department, it helps students with the transition from school to the workplace. So in the PDD marketing and the PDD business program, you have a work term, a mandatory work term in the end of your program. The co-op department will help you finding that job. For the PDD accounting program, the co-op is actually optional, and a lot of accounting students choose to do a co-op. The co-op department also helps you finding that job. It is always the student's responsibility to find the job, but the co-op department helps you with that. And the co-op department not only does that, but they provide opportunities such as workshops, one-on-one assessments on your resume. They have workshops on how to do your resume. They have workshops on how to perform job interviews. So they provide you, and they also provide you access with the C3 job board, which is a job board with a lot of openings on and off campus that you can apply for. So go to the Langara website, type in co-op department, and you will be directed to the co-op department webpage, and you will learn more about the work that they do. And make sure you attend their workshops. If you are a PDD accounting, you choose the co-op option, you will have access to the EXPE courses, which are courses that will help you with those job search matters. And if you are a marketing or business student, those courses are mandatory, so you'll be taking them. Does Zoom use is Zoom a platform for online classes? Yes, you will be using Zoom for most of your classes, if not all. I want to address this UPass class question as well. Right now, because during the summer semester, because classes are online, the UPass program is canceled. So students in the LSM PDD programs do not have access to the UPass program. However, if classes go back to campus on the fall semester, you will have access to the UPass program. The UPass program is not a program by Langara. It's a program by TransLink, which is the company that runs the public transportation here in Vancouver. So it's only effective when classes are on campus. How can we join the club for business administration PDD? There is no club for business administration PDD. You can, if you go to the LSM webpage, you will have, and type in clubs, you will see all the clubs that are connected with LSM. Some of these clubs performed and presented here today: PMC, which is the Project Management Club; DMM, which is the Digital Media Marketing Club; the Langara Accounting Club. And we also have the HR Pro Club and the Management in Motion Club that weren't able to present today. But you can always join those clubs. Oh, thank you, Camila. Just put the link in the chat for us. Thank you, Camila. So I'm going super fast with the questions, but for the panelists, feel free to chime in while I'm talking, okay? Okay, this is an interesting question. How does volunteering look like in COVID season when everything is online? So this is going to be the last question that we're going to be addressing, but because of the time. But so volunteering has been pretty much online, basically. As you can see, we had the panelists here talking to you, and we had some people presenting some of the sessions, like the club sessions. That's all volunteering work. So the students are volunteering virtually. So when you join clubs, you will be presented with a lot of opportunities for you to volunteer. If you go to Langara website, and if someone can find the link for me, put it in the chat. There are 2 volunteering programs on campus: the VOTE program, and also the IEVP, which is the International Student Volunteering Program. So you can register for those programs, and because everything is online and virtual right now, the volunteering opportunities are also virtual. So once we are back on campus, I'm sure there will be volunteering opportunities on campus. Does anyone want to talk about this? Volunteering online?
I can add that, like, since I've started, it's all been online. Like, all of the volunteering I did was online, and there's definitely a lot of opportunities for you to get involved, even if it's online. So, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just being mindful of the time. It's 9:17, and I'm sure everyone has their commitments. Unfortunately, we won't be able to address all the questions. We had 56 questions. It's a lot of questions. The questions that we weren't able to address here today, feel free to send me an email and I'll get to them as fast as I can. But before sending me an email, try to find the answer to your questions on the Langara website, or try to find the answer in the PDD student handbook, or try to find the answer in the International Student Guidebook. Uh, like I said, those resources have all the information that you need, and it's a much easier and faster way to have access to the answers to your questions than emailing me. I'm more than happy to address all your questions, but it might take me 3 to 5 business days to answer everyone, especially if the questions are accessible in our website or in one of those resources. So please make sure you put some time and effort into studying those resources, because the more you understand how they work, the more you understand about where the information is, the more independent and the more powerful you will be as a student. Again, I want to thank Doa for being the MC of this event. Thank you so much. You did an amazing job. Thank you for hosting and chairing the event. I also want to thank all the panelists who wake up really, really early to be here volunteering, sharing their experiences and exchanging ideas with all of you. And of course, I want to thank all the students for being here. We had such an amazing attendance, was blown away. I apologize for the inconvenience for those who weren't able to join in the beginning. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened with the capacity. It's usually 250 attendees. If for some reason it was limited to 100, but throughout the event, I was able to make some room. So hopefully you were able to join. For those of you who missed the beginning of the event, feel free to access the recording that I will be providing you the link for. Okay, so that's it. Thank you all very much. I wish you all a great week ahead. Classes are about to start. I know you are anxious. I know you're nervous. I know you're excited, but I'm sure you will all be very, very successful. So I wish you the best of luck and a great week ahead. Thank you.